Hey everyone, I wanted to talk about something that's been bugging me lately. You ever buy one of those cheap pre-built gaming PCs that promise the world for a couple $100? Yeah, I've had a few of those over the years. The kind that looks great in the ad but arrives with a power supply that sounds like a jet engine and a graphics card that can't even run a modern game on medium settings. It's frustrating because you end up spending more on upgrades than you would have if you just bought something decent to begin with. That's why I was really excited when I got my hands on the MSI Codex R2 Gaming Desktop. It's not some flashy overpriced machine, but it's built to actually perform without breaking the bank. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, let me talk about the performance. This thing is packed with an Intel Core i5-14400F and an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 5060. That's a solid combo for 1080p gaming, and honestly, it handles 1440p pretty well too if you tweak the settings. I've been playing games like Cyberpunk 2077 and Alan Wake 2 on high settings with DLSS, and it runs smoothly without any stuttering. The 16GB of DDR5 RAM is no slouch either, so you won't have to worry about your system slowing down when you've got a bunch of Chrome tabs open or you're streaming while gaming. The 1TB NVMe SSD is a nice touch too. Load times are basically non-existent, which makes a huge difference in games like Starfield where every second counts. Now, let's talk about the design. A lot of pre-built PCs look like they were designed by someone who's never seen a computer before. They're all sharp edges, aggressive angles, and RGB lighting that's so overwhelming it gives you a headache. The Codex R2, on the other hand, has a simplistic design that actually looks good in a living room or office setting. It's not trying too hard to be flashy, but it still has that gamer aesthetic with the ARGB fans that light up nicely without being obnoxious. The case is also pretty compact, so it doesn't take up half your desk like some of those giant tower PCs do. Cooling is always a big concern with pre-builts, especially the cheap ones. You'd be surprised how many of them cut corners on the cooling and then wonder why their system sounds like a vacuum cleaner. The Codex R2 uses an air cooling setup with those ARGB fans, and honestly, it does a great job. I pushed this thing pretty hard, running stress tests and long gaming sessions, and the temps stay reasonable. The fans aren't silent, but they're not loud either, definitely not the kind of noise that's going to ruin your gaming experience. Plus, the 80+ Gold PSU is a nice bonus because it's efficient and reliable, which is something you don't always get with budget pre-builts. Another thing I really like about this PC is the Wi-Fi 6E support. If you're like me and you don't want to deal with Ethernet cables running all over your place, having solid wireless performance is a must. The Wi-Fi 6E on this thing is fast and stable, so no more lag spikes when you're in the middle of a crucial match or trying to download a big game update. It's one of those little things that makes a big difference in the long run. Now, I know what you're thinking, but what about upgrades? Well, the good news is that the Codex R2 is pretty upgrade-friendly. The case has plenty of room for adding more storage or even swapping out the GPU down the line if you want to. The power supply is also 80+ gold rated, which means it's got enough headroom to handle future upgrades without needing a replacement right away. That's a huge plus because a lot of pre-builts lock you into their proprietary designs, making upgrades a nightmare. Let me wrap this up with a quick pros and cons rundown. On the plus side, the performance is solid for the price, the design is clean and not over the top, and the cooling is actually decent for a pre-built. The Wi-Fi 6E is a nice bonus too. On the downside, the RGB lighting, while not overwhelming, might be a bit much for some people who prefer a more minimalist look. Also, if you're looking for a PC that's ready for 4K gaming out of the box, this might not be the one for you. It's really built for 1080p and 1440p gaming. All in all, the MSI Codex R2 is a great option if you want a pre-built gaming PC that actually delivers on its promises without costing an arm and a leg. It's not perfect, but it's one of the better pre-builts I've used in a while. If you're in the market for a new gaming desktop, definitely check it out. The link is below if you want to take a closer look.